Hi everybody, how you doing? It's kind of chilly today in Santa Barbara. Got a new sweater. I love sweater weather, and I hope you can hear me. These are my old headphones. Hopefully everything's going to go fine. Sorry I've been absent lately. I went through an atonement, alignment as such, and it kind of made me purge energy out my physical body, which made me appear sick. But everything's fine, everything's good, everything's healthy, so that's awesome. Today, unlike most days, I've got a lot to talk about, but I'm going to try to just make it one video per topic instead of trying to fit in like 6 topics into one video. So what Spirit wants me to talk about most to you guys today is to try to understand your fellow human being, or to understand yourself better. In the last couple months we have seen or been a victim of, or perhaps even ourselves have expressed anger, frustration. We've seen and witnessed, hatred really playing out in our world. And ourselves, we may have had frustration. So I really want to address that particular subject. That's what Spirit wants me to address for you guys. So let's I'm going to try to come about this the best way I possibly can, but I know I'm going to be kind of going all over the board, so I apologize for that. So let's just take kind of like the worst case scenario, right, of somebody who's really easily triggered to attack or to yell or to be very angry or upset. What that energy is really stemming from is fear. And that fear is actually stemming from pain. And what happened in essence is there was a pain that was elicited upon this person. And because we as a society throughout the world have not been taught how to take responsibility for our own emotions, how to take responsibility for ourselves, that we think any outside source is responsible for how we feel in a given moment, or how they feel in a given moment. For instance, if somebody cuts them off in traffic, now they're feeling fear from, oh my gosh, I almost got in an accident. Also feeling their ego bruised because you're not being considerate for my safety, that they immediately get angry and get fearful or angry, right? And start yelling and honking the horn, and maybe even do some really worse driving that puts a lot of other drivers in a very unsafe situation. But they're blaming that person for eliciting that emotional response versus looking at it for what it is, which is, yeah, that person cut me off, but thank God I was aware enough to be able to hit my brakes. Thank goodness my car was in good enough condition where I had good brakes. I could stop. And God bless that person. Maybe they're on their way to the hospital. Maybe they're bleeding out. We don't know, right? But that's taking responsibility for your feelings and for your emotions as they arise. But nevertheless, let's keep going down that road. So these people, though, you could look at them as being rather unconscious. And they haven't woken up yet to the internal aspects of who they truly are and the love and the power that which they truly hold within themselves. They're very unconscious and used to be listening to other sources to tell them how to lead their life and what's to be expected. They usually like a lot of organize, I know that I'm going to get up and this is going to happen, and everything is, kind of like, God, what's that word? Where you can depend upon the same thing all the time. They don't like change. They don't like change at all. But anyways, you can look at these people as we've entered into this particular time frame of change. 2020 is, what is it? 2020. It's really seeing what your vision is. Really not testing you, but really fine-tuning your vision, bringing up to the surface of what is not truth, making you wake up and see things that are truly there, see things clearly. That's what 2020 has all been about. And it started off with a virus, right? Basically what's instigated this whole thing was the talk of a virus that was a pandemic and has gone rampant throughout the world. Regardless of how you look upon this particular pandemic, whether it's on the side of, yes, it could take me out and I'm very fearful to die, or it's, oh my gosh, you're taking away my freedoms and you want to shoot me up with a vaccine. Regardless, there's fear there. And you can think of a person who's in a lot of fear as an animal that has unwillingly, unknowingly, has stepped in a bear trap. And that mother effer hurts like crazy, right? Whatever the topic may be that represents the bear trap, whether it be COVID or whether it be vaccines or whether it be lockdown or whether it be financial breakdown of the system or, that bear trap still resembles something in that person's life that has a lot of fear. And most of the time, that unconscious person doesn't even know that bear trap is really there. They just know it hurts and they don't like the change in their life and they want it to stop. They want this pain to go away. They want to stop being afraid. And so they'll agree to anything, even you and your small ways of fear, unless you catch it and really look into it. You'll agree to anything to, how can I fix this? Make it go away, to stop it. I just don't like feeling this way, right? And so that's when the people who are very fearful for catching COVID-19 and perishing because they have a challenged immune system, and that's understandably so. It's just as dangerous for them to catch, the flu if you have a compromised immune system. And so they're looking for anything to make them feel safe again. So that's why the vaccine looks really promising to them. And that's fine. But just the same, if you are a person who goes out into public and doesn't hold the belief system that we need to wear masks in order to remain safe from COVID-19 from it spreading, and then someone attacks you because you don't have a mask on, chances are it's because they're feeling that bear trap really, really, really intensely. And when they see you without a mask, you're reminding them of their pain. You're reminding them of their fear. And they don't like it. Just like that previous scenario of the person who's driving the car. They're not taking responsibility of their actual emotions of what they're feeling. They're blaming the person that created that they perceive created that emotion within them. So they're looking at you, how dare you make me feel this pain again? How dare you remind me that I'm possibly this close to death? And have some compassion if you are the person that has the mask. Have some compassion for them because they're unconscious. And forgive me, I'm not specifically speaking for the person who's compromised. I'm speaking to anyone who's in the fear zone. I've been in the fear zone, right? And in that moment, I'm unconscious. What does unconscious really mean? Unconscious really means that you are not connected solely to your higher, greater part of yourself, your soul, your higher self, God. You're not connected with that. You've shut off the connection between you and a greater source of who you are. Because if you are connected solely with a greater source of who you are, you feel joy, you feel happiness, you feel gratitude, you feel consideration, you feel collaboration, you feel love, and you know you're okay. If you don't feel those things, if you feel in the lower vibrational stuff, which is anger, frustration, fear, retaliation, guilt, suffering, solitude, depression, sadness, and there's so much more. You're not as connected with your higher self and soul. Not a right, not a wrong. It's just the way it is. So my point to coming on here is have some compassion for that person who's feeling a lot of fear and maybe yelling at you to wear a mask. Or the opposite side, have some compassion for that person who's saying, by you forcing a vaccine on me, you're taking away my personal rights to choose what's right for my body. And I believe that the vaccine means have some compassion. They're in fear. Everything that's been going down in 2020 has created one thing mainly, and that is segregation. We are in the worst time and experience the worst amount of segregation in the history of humanity. We've created a virus that we're afraid of each other, just to a point where some people actually turn their anger on them and turn people in, other humans, and not respecting their space. We have segregation when it comes to politics. We have segregation when it comes to policies. We have segregation when it comes to so many things. And that's the purpose from the powers that are in control. By having segregation, we are not as powerful to rise up, join arms, and to say, that's not okay, government, that's not okay, this establishment, that's not okay, that establishment, because we are segregated. We are not united. Okay? So remember that when you ever come in contact with someone who's very angry, sit back in your own body. Look at them as though a witness through kind eyes and a loving heart. Or even if you come across yourself being in a very fearful, angry, painful place, look at yourself through kind eyes and a loving heart of compassion. They're afraid. Would you, turn around and condemn and fuss out an animal and yell at it and whatever, an animal that was feeling a lot of pain? No, you would have compassion for it. But at the same note, don't come to it, because the chances are any wild animal, when it's stuck in a trap, is a lot of fear, and it's going to attack you if you come nearby to try to release it. It must release itself. How are they going to do that? How are you going to do that for yourself? Time. The events that are going to play out in the next couple months are going to create more fear, more anger. And there's an if there. If your energy is in with the collective, if your energy is out there and not in here, if your energy is out there and you get razzled up really quick, really easy, and really investing your energy and your aggression into this and that means you're fearful and you're not connected. Right? Have compassion for yourself. But if you come across somebody that is just really angry, just give them love, guys. Imagine covering them with pink liquid. And it'll help calm them down. But you don't want to go to them and confront them and go, you're wrong. You're wrong. This is not how it is. You don't understand. It's that way. That is their truth and that is your truth. And there's two different separate truths. There's 7 billion different truths out there. What you find is right for you on your path of life is completely different from the next person, as it should be. Right? So don't try to Go outside your own bubble of taking care of you, focusing on you, focusing on the world that you want to live in, focusing on what you want to attract in your life, focusing on being joyful, focusing on being loved, focusing on being grateful. That's when you're connected. That's when you're connected, and that's when you're happy. That's when things are going great. Don't go outside that bubble to be in the bubble of somebody else trying to tell them how to live their life. It is none of your business. This is not a physical war. This is an energetic war. You are an energetic being. You are an extension and expression of your soul, which is connected with all that made everything. I want to call it God, the universe, the creation, creator, whatever. I don't care. You are part of it. You have energy flowing through your body that has created mountains and planets and earths and suns and animals and blades of grass, and trees. This is an energetic war. Where you place your focus is where you're spending your dollar, but you're spending your energy there. So if you want this world to be a better world, go back into your own bubble. Focus on you. Focus on your own fears and try to relinquish them, try to neutralize them, work on being connected, work on being happiness. If something that ever you are putting your attention to, sorry, phone just kind of decided it wanted to go someplace else. Anything that you're placing your attention to that does not feel joyful, happy, grateful, love, making you feel fantastic, then don't do it. It's bringing your energy down. Stop watching TV if it doesn't feel great. Stop listening to certain music if it doesn't feel great. Stop listening to friends, family, or different people on social media if it doesn't feel great. Just exercise yourself from it, right? And for the people who are still out there very, very fearful, and if you come across those people, give them love, give them compassion. They're just really, really, really afraid. And as we move through these next 2 months, more and more fear and anger is going to come to the surface. And we're going to see and hear a lot and see it expressed in ways that most of us do not desire to see it. But let me assure you this, it's very important that happen, because bringing it to the surface, bringing it to light helps extinguish it, number one. Number two, for anybody out there who's an empath or sensitive, and for those of you who have no idea what either one of those are, an empath is basically someone who can feel someone as though it's their own emotion, their own physical body, thinking their thoughts. In other words, when I was sitting by somebody, I could feel somebody, what they are feeling, what their past was like, what their physical body, what hurts in different places, etc. A person doesn't get that ability unless they go through a traumatic situation. It took a traumatic situation, not a dramatic, oh my God, we're in a dramatic world, back out of it, just stop engaging with it. But when you feel a traumatic situation, it wakes you up. It wakes you up. So those people on either side, I don't care who they are, if it's yourself or even myself at times, right? That we feel fear. You gotta remember, fear means you feel helpless and hopeless, and you're very much afraid for your life, or very much afraid of something that's subduing itself upon you. And you don't like that. You want to be pseudo feeling like you're in control of yourself, even though you may not be. Even take responsibility for your actions. But I just lost my train of thought, damn it. Have compassion for those people. Have compassion for you. And when you come to these traumatic situations, know that it's okay, because it's waking you up. It's waking me up. It's waking others up, to the point where we're going to see more and more truth. Not from social media, not from the media in general. You're going to feel the truth within you because you're more connected to the divine. That's when you're going to get your discernment of, that doesn't look so right. That doesn't feel so right. maybe I should look into it, right? And that is your higher self and soul and God talking to you, teaching you, and telling you and showing you that the right path is a path of compassion and love and appreciation and gratitude and collaboration. So please, if you could, have compassion for yourself, have compassion for a fellow human being. We might see some craziness out there. God bless them, cover them with pink liquid, and stay in your bubble. Stay in your bubble. Stay in your bubble of your own life, your own world, how you want to feel, what you want to focus on. What you focus on is what the universe, God, spirit, source, higher self channels the energy through you to create those very things in your environment for you to experience. So if I want to experience hot dogs every day, guess what? I'm going to find a hot dog on every freaking corner. If I want to experience wonderful conversations and I just love connecting with people, then guess what? Every single day I'm going to find myself on a conversation with a person that is lovely and wonderful, and the connection is great. And this opposite goes for anything negative. You will always attract your emotional vibration. You will always attract your emotional vibration. So if you're fearful, you're going to create that vibration of fear, and others that feel fear, you're going to attract them into your field. But a bigger scenario is that our collective, all the human beings on the planet, creates levels of emotional vibration, from anger and hatred to fear to guilt to depression to sadness to acceptance, to appreciation, to gratitude, to love, to peace, etc. If you're on a love level and you're feeling great amount of love, you're going to be connected into that collective layer of energy that all of us as human beings, those that are feeling love, have created that layer. You're going to connect into that layer. And the same thing goes for anxiety. If you're feeling anxious, which is a lower vibration, anxious usually means you fear for your future. It has something to do with future events. That's what anxiety is. So if you're feeling anxiety, you're going to be tapping into, you're going to be vibrating that same vibration as the rest of humanity that's feeling the vibration of anxiety. So sometimes you might get anxious because you found out you're not going to get a refund on a certain product you bought, and you're really anxious. And you're like, that shouldn't be that much anxiety to that particular subject. You're right. It doesn't match up because you're in with the collective and you're feeling what the collective is feeling. We are now coming into a time that your emotion's going to attract that emotion. Your emotion's going to be tapping into that emotion of the collective. Your emotion is going to be attracting that emotion from others. So bottom line, wouldn't you just like to feel really great? Wouldn't you like to feel really safe? Wouldn't you like to feel really happy? Wouldn't you like to feel really joy? Wouldn't you like to feel very abundant? Then make your ultimate focus to be in your own bubble. Think about the world that you want to create and you want to live in. And engage in things that make you joyful, feel love, feel peace, feel gratitude, feel appreciation, feel connection, collaboration, compassion. Make a choice for you to invest in emotions that you like. And that will just bring your emotional level higher and higher and higher, connect you more and more into your higher, greater part or self of you. And it will bring more and better experiences with you into this world that for you to experience. By you holding that energy of staying in higher vibration, you are affecting others to raise their vibration indirectly, because we're all connected. But you have to hold it. In other words, if I'm going downtown and I'm feeling great and on top of it, I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm just loving life. Oh, I love this cold weather, which I do. And I was around a person a couple days ago and I'm like, oh, and this is a beautiful day. Yeah, thank God it's not raining. Really just a bad attitude. And I'm like, wow, sorry you feel that way. I wish it was raining. We kind of need the rain. It'd be so cool to feel the rain and smell it. Oh, it'd be so beautiful. And immediately they went, oh, well, yeah, we do need the rain. Yeah, it would be good to smell that. Their whole attitude changed. I wasn't trying to change them. I was just holding my own energy. Right? So hold your own energy, stay in your own bubble, give compassion to all others who are anything else, even if it's something that you completely don't agree with. Give them compassion. In their world, they may be 100% right. They're not in your world unless you let them in. Okay? And have compassion for you. Well, that was a lot longer than I thought I wanted it to be, but I actually ended up hitting 4 topics and I couldn't begin to tell you them as it is, but I was counting them as I was going along. So one of the topics is people who are in fear and who are very angry or just feeling a lot of pain. They're really scared. Have compassion for them. Don't go up to them and try to force them to change. Have consideration for them, where they're at and where they're supposed to be. And don't worry, the divine's got it all locked in as to how they're supposed to wake up or how they're supposed to do whatever that they need to do that's right for them on their path. Maybe it's not wake up. That's okay. Maybe they are woke up in the world that they're currently in. Who's to say, right? Have compassion for yourself when you go into these fear places. And just go and start to look at it. So if I go into fear, or better yet, or into these unwanted feelings, right? Really start asking a question. Why do I feel this way? Where was it stemming from? What does it really mean? So for me, there was an event, and I'm not going to share it because I don't want to have an argument or a debate here, but there's something particular that's always been a trigger for me emotionally, for me to go into fear and feel like my freedoms have been invoked and I'm being forced to do something I don't want to do. And that's when I remember, when I forget, I am not a sovereign being, a sovereign spiritual being, and I have complete autonomy for what's right for me. I decrease myself to that of a human being who has no choice and I just have to do everything. No, you don't. You totally always have a choice. But you have to remember you're a sovereign being that's connected to your higher, greater part of yourself. Okay? Thirdly, I don't remember. I probably have to go through with all the points. But anyways, I'm going to get off because it's almost 30 minutes now. So my whole purpose of this was to try to help you understand people who are very angry and who are very aggressive and assertive and attacking, because it's coming from them not taking responsibility for their emotions through their whole life and blaming others their whole life of why they feel, how they feel, and not a right and a wrong. That's just the role they play in this particular world. That's okay. But have some compassion that they're just really afraid. But it's not your job to make them feel unafraid. It's not your job to take care of anyone anymore, guys. Sorry, it's not. You taking care of them, you are enabling them, and they're never going to learn how to take care of it themselves. You doing something for them is enabling them, so they are not going to know how to do it themselves. You doing anything for anybody else and trying to convince them anything else, you are enabling them, of them not figuring it out and waking up to their own divine path themselves. So keep your nose out of other people's business. Love them. Have compassion for them. They're still asleep. They are like an animal with their foot in the trap. They don't even see the trap. Eventually, they're going to see the trap. And then they're going to go into denial. There's no way that trap can be there because I'm not that stupid to put my foot in that trap. And then they're going to see the trap again. And they're going, holy shit, that trap is there. But I'm not that stupid that I could go ahead and put my foot in that trap. And they're going to get defensive. And then they're going to see the trap again. Holy shit. Dang it. My foot's been in that trap for a very long time. And I just didn't know that it was getting tighter and tighter and tighter. That's when they wake up. That's when they take responsibility. That's when the world changes. I love you guys. God bless you wherever you are in the world. I love you all. I hope this was helpful for you to understand your fellow man. I love you all. Take care. God bless. Oh, hopefully this week, Thursday or Friday, hopefully, it might actually be Sunday, but I'm trying to push it Thursday, Friday, myself and either 2 or 3 other women will come on and we'll talk about the energies of this month and next month. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.